Our fall season was a fun and successful fall season. It kind of got off to a little bit of a slow start as people kind of got back to school. Freshmen were acclimating to the things that we ask of them, and kind of they were coming together kind of as a group. So, you know, our main focus is so much on, like everyone's is, controllable factors and kind of defining those and figuring out how those work for each individual player, and then really starting to come together as a group. That said, they extended the fall season feelings and also successes, and especially our work ethic, into the off-season in the winter. We've never worked as hard in the off-season as we did this year, and the last couple of years we've worked very hard, but it's stepped up a notch also. So I'm excited to see what we're going to do in the spring. There's some real progress that can be made in the off-season. Anyone that has to kind of a little bit shift their technique in certain small directions. No one needs big shifts, but everyone needs little shifts just to get it where they're going. When you're in the middle of a competitive season, it can be, you know, you kind of play with what you have, and when you have some off season, you can nudge your technique, your base technique, a little bit in the right direction. So they've been doing that, you know, very much with short game stuff, very much with full swing with the aid of the TrackMan, and getting simulated ball flight numbers. But again, they've been there, you know, a lot in the off season. So in terms of what we could control in the off season, I'm thrilled. We are really as relatively sharp as we can be going into the outdoor season. The location of the trip is really neat. We get to go to Monterey in Northern California, and then San Francisco, and we're playing some of the neatest golf courses in the world. Certainly that's an added bonus, and it's luckier than anyone deserves to be. But really the focus is on trying to get our games to progress to where we need to be as we head into the competitive season, and you know, hopefully peaking by the time we get to conference championship. So the guys, you know, as much as the scenery will be distracting and things like that, I really have no doubts that the guys will be super focused on their own games, a little bit focused on what their teammates are doing also. Only from a standpoint that I think this team is extremely competitive, both with their talent level and also what their motivation and their ambition is. And because of that, the internal pressure within the team is very, very high. That said, I think morale and supportiveness within the team is also very, very high. So, you know, in terms of what we're doing, I don't really have any concerns other than, you know, a few little injuries here and there, and then what the weather ends up letting us do when we get outside. Because, you know, the ideal is we need to extend the work that we're doing in our spring break trip into what we do, you know, kind of the next 6 weeks after that, culminating in the Ivy Championship. And so I'm very hopeful that the snow melts quickly so that we can continue to do that. Because if we do, I'd put this team up against anybody. I have that much faith in them.